Hi, Joe Korzinski here with Hourglass Tree Farms. We are making some compost today. I want to do a little compost video. This is our greens portion of our compost that we just pulled out of the rows. We've got a bunch of mung beans, some mizuna and arugula, and of course some grass that's popped up. We're going to turn that into usable compost today. That'll be a portion of our green content that goes into one of our piles. And we have a pile that's already heated up. We're going to be turning that pile and then filling it back up with some really highly shredded materials. But stay tuned, you'll see. This is a row that we planted probably a month and a half ago. We harvested twice off of it. It included arugula, mizuna, radishes. We did 5 rows and 1 row of different species, different types of greens. We like to do that with our greens so that we get enough to cover our markets, as well as a variety. And we believe that not planting a whole row of mustard that we can't sell, is more profitable to us, to break up the row into 5 different plants there so we can get more out to the community. We have had a groundhog eat the right side of our shot right here. We do have some freckle lettuce that is going to be ready soon. We have to weed this out, and we're in the process of flipping all of these rows right now. Here is our compost bin setup. Shout out to Josh Satin Tree Farms. He has a setup that we learned about off of his channel. He's a very accomplished farmer. He does small scale farming in his backyard for a long time, but yeah, I just wanted to tell him thank you for this beautiful design here. It's been working for 5 years for us. This compost pile is super hot. It is 5 days old. I believe 6 days old, sorry, in this shot. And you'll see the steam coming off of it. This is not a video effect. It is really, really hot here. Yeah, the microbes are just tearing this up right now. One of the microbes we like to look for is fire fang bacteria, Actineomycetes. Probably mangled that, but fire fang bacteria is one of the bacteria that it's a thermophilic bacteria, so it loves heat. It's not thermophobic. Thermophilic means that it would like and enjoy a pretty hot environment. So they live in about 150, I believe, to 160, 170 degrees. We're looking for some of this in here, and it's very easy to spot fire fang bacteria, but it's one of your beneficial bacteria for digesting and decomposing pretty much anything that you mix appropriately in a pile like this. We like to use 60% brown to 40% green, to 70% brown to 30% green. That's sort of the ratio I shoot for. And this pile here was made without adding much water to it. I believe we added a little bit of water to the top. So it's really active for not being, we forgot to get it up to field capacity, the edges and such. And of course water wouldn't penetrate from the top. So as you can see, we're filling up the other side. We're flipping this pile right now to make room for another pile that we're going to be making today. Shout out to my helper Jason. He come over and is wanting to start his own farm, as well as helping us do some tasks. It takes a lot of energy being a farmer, and any kind of help we get really goes a long way on the farm. So he's out here just spending time with the farm and helping with the compost today. But yeah, this system really works well for us. Um, we use a chipper, and we run pretty much everything through that chipper and get it down to a very, very, very small size. Even the greens we run through the chipper. We mix it in little by little. We'll add some brown in the chipper, then we'll add some green. Green really will probably stop up your chipper, so you got to kind of add something that'll go through it easily. Oh wow, look at that. Yeah, that's the corner. You can see this, some of the corner isn't, but you see the white hyphae like root structures in there. That's bacterias and such eating. In only 6 days, yeah, so only 6 days this starts to heat up, and this will be usable soil for us by the end of the month. Well, I like to let it cook, let it heat up, flip it once a week. You know, it gets a really long, you know, maybe I'll flip it a little bit earlier, because this is definitely starting to take hold here and start to decompose, so I'll flip this earlier, probably around 5 days. And we like to flip it 5 times, and then, as hot as it is right now, it's steamy. Yeah, it's really starting to go. Whenever I do flip my piles, I like to thoroughly mix, and I will make sure my pile is even and not packed down, but you know, still filling up the whole stall. You don't want any air pockets. You don't want big spots of inactivity, because the more your pile heats up as a whole, it'll heat up the rest of the pile, and the more the microbes spread as a whole, because you know you gave them the right conditions to live in, the more that they will spread. So every kind of contact point should be filled for them. Yeah, this is really heating up here. We have 5 stalls here. I'm not sure if you can see that, but we will be flipping this 5 times. And we've been making compost now for about 6 years. We've been in business for 5 years, but I've been experimenting with compost and using it for 6 years. And I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot from different YouTubers, no-till growers, and Jesse Frost has a huge informational bank of videos that you can glean knowledge from. We have a few videos. We're going to be doing a lot of hands-on videos like this. Try to build a following. Try to support no-till growing, and we also use all natural inputs for all of our fertility. So we do the Korean natural farming for our farm. It helps us because it's a low cost, as well as being some of the cleanest inputs you can use. We drink our own inputs, like they're very beneficial to humans as well as plants. Yeah, it's all edible, so kind of doing the opposite of putting chemicals and stuff that would poison the human body if you actually ate it, as opposed to stuff that would not poison the human body. We're putting that on the food we grow, and it's actually a fertility system. You know, it doesn't hurt the human body at all to consume these inputs. So of course, you know, I thought that would be the best way to farm back when we started. So that's something special about our farm. We've been in Shirley now, so this is our 5th year. I've lived around in Shirley for about 10 years now, and I have quite a bit of market experience under our belt. We've been going to 4 different counties and markets this year, all around the county. We may be doing a talk this year to Master Gardeners groups about K&F, trying to grow more farmers, trying to teach more folks, you know, because we can't, we're a small business, we can't feed everybody ourselves, but we would love to support the community in that way and kind of lead the way a bit and show people how it's done. And you can do it all naturally. It's kind of simple when you live it, but it's kind of hard to explain to folks who only have known commercial farming their whole life or conventional agriculture. You know, everybody has to test their soil, NPK ratios. This type of regenerative farming has been praised as a way that you can grow on barren land, and with the inputs that I use and with compost, a good compost, you can grow pretty much anywhere. It'll start regenerating your soil. So that's what makes this a regenerative farm. We use no-till farming, so we use broad forks. We don't use tillage. We don't use tractors on our farm whatsoever. We use compost as a mulch system in our rows, as well as wood chips and walkways, and we feed our microbes by adding more compost and adding more wood chips as much as we can, or as I say, as the microbes eat them. But yeah, that's a big boon for us. We've really enjoyed seeing all the bountiful fruits, being able to eat fresh off the vine or fresh off the, you can go pick a head of lettuce and you pretty much don't have to wash it. You know, you rinse some dirt off, but you don't have to worry about, you know, getting sick from eating your food or any kind of health implications. But here we go, we're almost at the bottom of this pile. Looks like, yeah, I'll be soaking this down more. I've soaked it down a few times already, but you want it to be at field capacity. Those microbes need to be wet in order to have a fighting chance. A lot of the green isn't going to be wet enough if your brown has been sitting in a pile like ours has for a while. And our brown consists of broccoli stalks, a plethora, everything we do at the farm. A bunch of corn is what we chipped up, some green corn and brown corn. But here is a video that my helper took. He's a good friend of mine, Jason. So you can see a lot of the green comes out just as a goop. I'll take the pitchfork and I'll mix it all together. But I eyeball my piles beforehand and make sure that what I'm starting with is, you know, around 30 to 40% green to 70 to 60% brown, and shoot for that. And if you have a chipper, I didn't add any kind of IMOs to this pile. We have tons of soil from weeds that are still attached and come out of our beds, and our beds are sprayed with IMO 2 or 3 times a week. So it does pretty good. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, please, and y'all have a great day.